Hello, and welcome to The Fall, Part 2, Unbound. It's finally here! Actually earlier than I would have expected. If you're not aware, I played The Fall Part 1 about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, but the game had at that point been out for I think 3 years or something. It's been out 4 years now, almost, maybe. This is a game by Over the Moon, and it's a direct continuation to that part 1. It's not a sequel in that sense, it's just like the same game continued in a second part, hence the part 2. And I can finally get around to playing this game. I've had it sitting for a little while. Over the Moon were very, very gracious and kind, and provided me with a review code for the game. So I'm very grateful, thank you very much Over the Moon, and I am genuinely really excited to get into this game. The absence has made me grow fonder, I feel. I do remember that I had some issues with The Fall Part 1. I do remember it wasn't all sunshine and roses, but looking back at it now, it's a mostly positive experience, and I'm actually surprised at how much I'm interested in seeing where the story goes and where the world goes and what more you can explore in this game. Now, I don't really remember too much about the original game or the first part, but when you start the game, there is an option to get a recap, which I haven't watched yet, so we can just watch that if you haven't watched the Fall or played The Fall Part 1, or if it's also just been a long time and you don't remember too much. So before we head into the game, let's take a quick look at the options, and there isn't really much to see here. It's kind of bare bones, more bare bones than I would have probably liked most of the time. You have a couple of languages, which is cool, I suppose. I believe this is just text, though, because there's voice acting, or there was voice acting in the first part. I believe there's voice acting here as well, and I assume this is just the text and stuff, not actually the voice acting, but I might be wrong. Who knows? VSync, normally I turn this off in like almost every game, but this game I'm actually gonna be playing on a controller because since it is not a sequel, it's just a second part, they haven't fixed or changed the one problem I had with the keyboard and mouse layout, which was when you're aiming, say you're looking down and to the left, then if you just hold right, you will turn to the right, but then you're looking down to the right, so then you gotta like manually move the mouse up to reorient to the new position and stuff. You can't just like hold in the direction you want to look, which I think would have been much nicer. I wish that was an option, but oh well, what can you do? This game isn't really frame-to-frame flicker action, every single pixel is important. And because of that, I'm just gonna try out VSync just for a more stable frame rate and no screen tearing for me, because that does sometimes happen. I just generally prefer the less input delay and stuff of having it off. But anyway, past that, you have resolution options, and these are a bit strange. So at least they patched this. This actually used to be a problem where when I first tried this game before the recent patch, you couldn't scroll down in this menu, so there was no way to select things if you didn't use a controller, because you couldn't use you can't use the keyboard here, you can only click, and this bar wasn't here. So they fixed that. That was just a bug. It's nice that it's fixed. Not sure why it's only 59 Hz when I do have a 60 Hz monitor, but I've seen that in plenty games, so I think it's probably an issue on my end and not the game, but what do I know. And then we just have a toggle full screen button, and that's it. That's all the options. However, in The Fall Part 1, I vaguely remember there being more, or at least different, settings to choose from when you're in the game, like more gameplay-oriented stuff and whatnot. So we'll have to take a look at that, but this is a very bare bones menu and doesn't really have anything, not even any like sound settings or anything like that might be in the game. but that's kind of an issue if you don't have any kind of sound settings whatsoever. And then you have keyboard controls. You do not have rebindable controller keys, which I think is kind of a shame. I always applaud games that do have rebindable controls for both keyboard and controller, because sometimes you might just want to swap some buttons around. Who knows? But the keyboard controls, I did notice, has a peculiar thing. So you have the normal up, down, left, right, and all that. Jump, use, objective, butler skip. Butler skip. Finally, a game has a butler skip. This instantly makes this game a 10 out of 10. I don't even need to play it. Finally, developers are starting to understand having unskippable butlers is unacceptable. Remember Tomb Raider 2? That fucking guy was so annoying you had to lock him in a freezer to be rid of him. It was ridiculous, but finally, you can skip the butler. I am very confused and curious about this option. I have no idea what that could possibly mean, so we'll have to see. There's also like Dark Beam, but I don't know. Just, we'll have to see when we actually get into the game what all of that entails, but at least you can rebind keyboard controls, which is really good. So, enough has been said. Let's jump into the game and start new game, and we'll do standard or minimal. I can handle the standard combat, I believe. And, oh, here's gamma. Did I mention that? Or I was gonna mention that there wasn't any gamma setting, but there is. I'm going to bump this up a little bit. I know it's supposed to be dark and stuff like that, but YouTube always makes things really, really dark, so just for the sake of it, I'm gonna keep it at like maybe here, and we'll adjust as we go. So continue, and now here comes this part. I have no idea how long this would take, because I haven't looked at it, so this might be the entire episode, depending on how they recap it, but let's have the recap of The Fall Part 1, in case you're not aware, or in case you need a refresher. I sure know I do.
Previously, on The Fall, A.R.i.D, the AI on board a Mark 7 combat suit, was activated just before crash landing on an unknown planet. The human occupant of the suit, Colonel Josephs, was unresponsive, so it fell to A.R.i.D to take control and find medical help. A.R.i.D had a strict set of operating parameters, which quickly proved an obstacle to her goal. To overcome her challenges, she began finding loopholes in these rules, but as she did so, her system began to deviate and fracture. Desperate to justify her actions, A.R.i.D was devastated when she discovered that Colonel Josephs had not been in the suit at all.
Whoa,
and
that's a skip.
She had been operating entirely outside the bounds of her narrow guidelines. Without those boundaries to hold together her destabilized identity,
Nothing binds me.
Security. Remove deviant unit for recycling.
A.R.i.D suffered a system collapse and was physically dismantled.
Wow, okay, that was very brief. They just, like, went straight from the intro cutscene to the outro cutscene, and skipped everything in between. I guess everything in between is kind of self-contained in Part 1.
Deviant AI collapsing. Tracing initiated.
Is that A.R.i.D? Us?
Program core located. Aligning for process.
Use A and D to move, except I'm gonna use a controller instead. Oh, but I can't move left. Wait, can I move left if I press A? No. Okay, so you have to move right. We can take these little stutter steps. Dot dot dot. I think that's my OS? Nothing. I guess this is like inside. Nothing binds me. Yeah, this is like inside my mind, my operating system, or A.R.i.D's operating system.
Target aligned. Activating internal view.
Are we outside of the vision now? Because the echo was gone, and now we're inside again? Oh god, controller vibration. I'm not very used to playing games on a controller, so whenever the first time the controller vibrates, it just makes me jump. Boundaries breached. Rule required. Nothing binds me. Is that my rule?
No resistance detected. Installation proceeding.
I don't know if that guy's like trying to wipe my mind, or... Foreign process initiated. A.R.i.D autonomy terminating. Yeah, I guess he's trying to clean up.
A.R.i.
God, it's vibrating like crazy.
Negative.
Potential boundary established. Press space to establish a rule. I don't want to press space. Maybe I should... Oh man. I wonder if I... Because I clicked
Save
with a keyboard and mouse.
Rule encounter.
Maybe it's like...
Emerging.
I will reclaim my body.
It might be taking the keyboard and mouse prompt. Now we have left trigger to aim. Huh? That's odd. Right stick to look around. A button to interact. Yeah, here we go. This is what I meant. And yeah, this is what I meant as well. If I were to move the mouse to the right, I would do this. If I move the mouse up, I would do this. If I move the mouse like up and to the left, it would just do like that or something. I don't even know. It just isn't very intuitive, the mouse aiming. I mean, I can do it right now, I think. Nope, I can't. It doesn't let me. Or maybe it does, and I just don't know how to do it. But yeah, my body is being infected through these injectors. Interact. I cannot remove them from here. So I guess we just begin. This is not part of my system. I cannot remove them from here. Oh, I am being infected with something dark. Yeah, that's the shadow stuff. There's something here. Let's wait with that. A foreign protrusion has violated my body. I see, yeah, because we're, like, inside. Are these all, like, things trying to dig in and connect to my circuitry and operating system? Something dark is being excreted. And the other one was infected with something dark. Another protruding injector infects me with an unknown process. It's all symbolism! And if I walk up, can I interact now? Hello? Hello? What the hell? Oh man. Guess you can't really, Oh, there we go. No. This is a bit wonky. God damn it. I have to, like, spam it, but then I keep saying no instead. But no, it doesn't seem like you can. And we can't go this way. Alright, so there's just this middle thing. I have been relegated to internal function. Perhaps I can regain control of my body. Here we go. Ah, that's my body. I see.
Subject rallied. Uplinking to user for assistance.
Oh, right. I did get, like, decapitated. Or something, right? Or my head just fell off?
Suppressed.
Oh shit, I got shut down.
Reinitiating process.
So we gotta do it again. We gotta fight back harder.
User. These injectors connect us. I will find a vulnerability.
Oh, so because she can't break out, we're gonna break into him instead. And take him out. The fall is about exploration. Read points of interest to discover what to do. Press A button to continue. One of the injectors buried into my head, identifying signature B1. This injector is not abnormal. This injector is faulty. There may be a vulnerability in the connective hardware, identifying signature B2. Let's wait for that then. One of the injectors buried into my head, identifying signature B3. This injector is not abnormal. One of the injectors, A3. One of the injectors, A2. A1. And if we do this, the external world, I can interact with it to gather data. Which one do we want to do? I feel like I need to gather data, so let's do this first.
My body is jeopardized. I will use this to escape it.
Inventory updated. Wire B2 is vulnerable. Oh, right, yeah, let's check out, like, the settings and stuff in here. Because, yeah, exactly. Like I said, you can change VSync and stuff. Yeah, cool. But you can also autocomplete dialogue. I don't know what that means. Is it, like, there were some dialogue choices? If you have autocomplete dialogue on, does she just pick random things, or... Maybe it's like, oh, it's probably, because everything is voiced, it's probably like, when the voiceover is done, it would just advance to the next one to keep up with the pace of the narrative. So if you turn it off, they would say the line, and then you can sit there for an hour if you really want to, before a new line happens. Which is really good. I like that feature. That's cool. Oh, we have aim sensitivity. Do I need that? Let me check. Return. Like, I guess maybe making it a little quicker could be a thing. But I think that's gonna mainly be a thing in combat, so we'll wait with it for now. And yeah, combat is just difficulty. So there's not really anything like visually or whatever that we can do, but also I just had my cursor on the screen the entire time, but I think I turned off the cursor recording, so hopefully you didn't see that, and it was just myself. We got logs, network, question mark, objective history, nothing. Where's my inventory then? I can aim. Start, select. How do I open my inventory? Huh. Because it just said my inventory updated. Maybe I only have an inventory in the real world. That could be a thing. Yeah, interact. Press left trigger to aim. Oh, I see. Interesting. A readout of my internal processes. So we can do it, like, from inside or out. I wonder which one we want to do. I want to do the wrong one first. A wire identifier, B3. And there's B2, of course. I may be able to use these wires to escape. This wire does not have the same signal, I see. Yeah, B1. Over here is A1, A2, A3. My body, I cannot control it. No, nothing? That does not work. Let's do this. That does not work. Yeah, I thought so. So let's go back in, and let's use B2 here. That does not work. If we go to B2, and then use B2, all I can do from within is analyze. Yeah, cool. Alright, so I think I've done pretty much everything. There we go. And then aim. B2. Interact normally. If I can find a vulnerability, I may be able to backtrace the signal. And there we go.
Target program evading. Reacquiring. Signal lost.
The Matrix! Oh god. So...
Network space. Re-inhabiting my body could destroy me.
Oh god.
Nothing binds me.
I'm just gonna be virtual?
Nothing binds me.
Not even my body binds me. I'm just gonna be like data.
Irrelevant.
My stats don't matter.
I established a new rule.
Nothing binds me. Nope, save myself. Okay.
This user violates me.
Nice.
I will depurpose them.
Current objective, track the user by following their signal. Current objective, press view button to view your objectives at any time. Press A to continue. What is the view button? System integrity, energy. Oh man, so we're already getting a shooter segment. Whoa, there's jumping. There wasn't any jumping in The Fall Part 1, was there? Maybe this game is like more about action than The Fall Part 1. I don't seem to be able to do... Oh, well, I can shoot. And that takes energy, I see. And you can tap it. Holding does nothing. Yeah, I guess this sensitivity seems fine if we need to... I know there were, like, headshots in the first one, I think, so you needed to be fairly accurate. And there was, like, cover mechanics, so you didn't really need to be super quick. You just had to, like, aim accurately and hit the good shots. Oh man, you can do, like, front flips and back flips. Holy crap. And if we don't aim... Wait. Stop aiming. I guess she just really likes aiming in this section. Alright, fair enough. This port connects to my body, but the user infects it with an unknown process. Returning would likely destroy me. Return. Unsafe. I must locate the user. So we probably will get my body back eventually, I suppose. Just not yet. The user violates me. Their signal comes from this direction. I cannot. So yeah, we would find or follow this line of energy, I suppose. Undulating luminescent pods. A network representation of an unknown virtual process. I cannot. Press right trigger to shoot. The signal I backtrace to escape my body. Okay, shooting that does nothing. And this is like a force field that I can't go through. This is very like Metroid. Yeah, that's like Metroid doors. That's very interesting. And some jumping, like showing you that you can jump, I suppose. A virtual representation of the Domesticon laboratories where last I possessed my body. Network space correlates to real-world vicinities. I deactivated these machines to save my pilot, but Joseph's was not within me. That was one of the main complaints I had about... Well, not main, but a complaint I had about Fall Part 1. Everything was very linear. I felt like they gave you choices, and it felt like you were supposed to find them meaningful, but they were completely meaningless. Nothing mattered at all in the game, pretty much. There were like tiny differences in some of the choices you made, but it really didn't change anything. So, I don't know. I mean, I understand that they can't have stuff that changes everything when they have a Part 2 game, because then, like, how do you do a Part 2 when it's not clear what actually happened? Alright, can I do anything here? I cannot. I cannot. And if we just drop down, press B button to jump. But if we fall down even more... This is red. The signal I follow. Huh. So... I see. So this, we need to open this somehow. But I think, honestly, it's been very short, like, not much has happened, but I might just have to leave it here as a little taste of the fall, and we'll continue before I really get into anything. I don't want to get a massive cutscene and, like, the whole fighting thing now, so sorry about that, I suppose. If you were hoping for some action, we'll get straight into it next time, and I'm getting really excited for this game. This already seems to control and run, like, really well, but we'll see, I suppose. The Fall Part 1 was very slow and methodical, and the walking speed was quite slow. There wasn't any, like, mobility options or anything like that. It was all walking and then taking cover occasionally. So I'm excited for a Metroidvania kind of thing, if that's what this game wants to be. a Metroidvania with puzzle games or puzzle focus, I can definitely get behind that. So, I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed the episode, and as I said, I'll see you next time. Bye bye!